see I'm moving. It's a little rough getting out of bed this morning. I don't know what it was. I like to think, oh, it's my age. Oh, I'm just getting older. But nah, I just didn't feel like going to work today. Very rarely do I ever feel that way, because I still love doing what I'm doing. I still love trucking. I still love that anticipation when I turn the key in the morning and I start my truck. I still like that. I still, you know, it's still part of who I am, and I enjoy that part of the aspect of my job. It tells me that I still have a love for what I'm doing, and you know, it's okay to keep doing what I'm doing. I think if I ever lose that anticipation, or if I ever lose that drive to go to work and be a truck driver, then it's time to hang it up. And there's a lot of guys in this business, and girls, that have hung it up too late. There's lots of them out there right now, driving around. There's lots of old guys and old girls out there right now, driving around miserable. Absolutely fucking miserable. And my heart goes out to them. You know, if you're not liking what you're doing, and if this ain't your love anymore, then do something else. You know, sell vacuum cleaners door to door. You know, whatever. But get out of it. You know, don't do it. But I just had something happen. I pulled into the Loves there, and I didn't need fuel, but I was just going in to get coffee. So I didn't bother going to park and walking in. I rolled into the fuel island. There was an empty island with an empty pull-ahead spot. So I pulled into the pull-ahead spot and left the fuel island open for whoever wanted to use it. And while I'm walking in, there's this young guy, and he's sitting there, and he's got an 18 or a 19 Cascadia, and he's got the hood open. And so as I'm going by, I can hear him. He's standing on the tire, and he's fucking around with something. And he's like, he's cursing, right? I'm not going to repeat what he was saying, but he was saying some pretty unspiritual things. So I went in and got my coffee, and I was only in like 3 or 4 minutes. Got my coffee, come back out, and he was down, and he had unhooked the top rad coolant hose coming from the reservoir, the big blue one. And he had it in his hand, and it had a small nick in it. And I just looked at him, and I said, dude, that's a bummer, eh? And he went off. He went off. This effing business, this effing truck, I swear to God, I can't do this anymore. He just went, and I just said to him, I said, bro, I think that's like a $250 part. And he says, I got $27 in my account right now. And I just stood back, and it's like, whoa. Like, whoa. You're out here with that truck that you own, and you've got $27 in your account. Again, your heart goes out. Right? My heart goes out to something like that. But it makes me think about what we were talking about yesterday, and there was a really good chat over on Shannon Thomas's live yesterday, and a couple of guys. One guy that I'm coming to really respect a lot. His name is Snorlord. And he was in on the chat, and of course Stuart Warbley was in there, and I have tons of respect for Stuart. Him and Britt, and again, I don't know why these two guys always get, because they're British, but they always get clumped together. But for some reason, every time one of these two melonheads opens their fucking mouth, a little nugget of information falls out that I can pick up and go, I can use that. And I know that the two of them are, especially Brit's going to go, well, it's British power, and it's, you know, the Brits are here to save the... Get over yourself, Mark. The Brits didn't do that much. You had your ass handed to you more than once. Anyway, what I want to get back to was what we were talking about was this, how many guys are out here and I say guys, when I'm saying guys, I include like guys and ladies. I just don't want to keep going guys and girls and guys and girls, whatever. But how many owner-operators are out here right now operating with absolutely no money in the bank and they're one check engine light away from bankruptcy? Now, don't get me wrong, I've been there. I have been there. I have literally been there. Look, opened my bank account and went, there's $1,500 in there. $1,500 in this business is jack. It's diddly. You know, if I put my truck in the shop for a minimal thing, I expect at least a bill of $1,000. So a $1,500 sitting in the bank account, can't do that. Oh, hold on, got to take a call. Get right back to you. Sorry, so what we were saying was how many people, and surprisingly enough, there's probably more people out here doing this by the string of their pants than there is people that are financially, a little more financially secure and capable and able to do this. And it makes me think that, why are you doing this? I know the stress. I know the stress of going down the road knowing that one fucking thing is going to sink my ship. I've been lucky. You know, people do that. You know, I'm not lucky, I'm good. Well, you know what? I've been lucky. A couple of times I've been lucky. A couple of times I've been really unlucky, but a couple of times I've been lucky. But there's a lot of people out here doing this that really shouldn't be. And I guess what I'm trying to get at is, if you're out here just for the sake of having the title, I'm an owner operator, and I guess you can lump, I guess, lease ops into that, I guess, as well, because to a degree you are. Mind you, if the shit goes to hell for you guys, you just hand the truck back into whoever you're working for and you walk away, I guess. But if you're doing this just so you can have the title of, look at me, I'm an owner operator, I own my own business, I run my own business, and you're running around with $1,500 in the bank, and that's all you can put together from pay period to pay period, stop doing it. Go back to being a company driver. Save yourself the stress, the headache, the heartache. You know, the wife at home that's going like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Or a husband at home, whatever you got. If you're doing that for the wrong reason, if you're out here and you're making a profit week after week, carry on, truck on, business as usual. But if all you're doing is covering all of your expenses and there's nothing left over, that's not being profitable. That's not worth your while. It's not, you know, I didn't come out here, I'm not out here doing this 70 hours a week to break even. Now, don't get me wrong, there's times that there's nothing you can do. There are pays, you know, you're going to break even. But I mean, if you break it out over the scope of a whole year, if you're out here and all you're doing week after week after week is breaking even, and you're looking around and other guys are actually making a profit, maybe this just isn't for you. I'm not trying to talk anybody out of being an owner-operator. I think we need more of them, and I encourage anybody to do it, as long as you're coming in with the right intentions, and you've got the right mindset, and you're financially backed. You're financially backed. Like, anybody can go get a lease op with no money down and go. You know? Well, what's the sense of that? You can make it 30 miles off out of the terminal, something's going to happen, and you don't have any money in the bank, you're screwed. You know, and when Dar and I work with these new guys that want to make that transition from company driver to owner-operator, you know, we kind of give them a platform. Now, I'm not saying that my platform is the best platform. It's just the one that works for us, and that I've been able to take bits and pieces of information from other owner-operators that are successful, and I've kind of put this plan together. And the very first thing I say to them, they're like, okay, I want to go buy a truck. No, you're not ready to buy a truck. Oh, I want to, no, forget it. How much money you got in the bank? I got about 5 grand. That's not enough. First of all, I suggest if you're going to do this and you're going to become an owner-operator, be a company driver for 3 or 4 years first. Like, get a feel for the road, get a feel for the life, get a feel for the where you're going, get a feel for the industry. Second of all, don't even think about it unless you got about 25 grand sitting in the bank and you got nothing to do with it. Meaning that you could stroke a check for $25,000 tomorrow and it's not going to affect you. Now that sounds harsh, but it's a true reality. If you're going to start in this business, and then some guys have done it with less, and if you've done it with less, fantastic, my hat's off to you. But I suggest 25 grand. Now it's Canadian, so about 17, 18,000 US. Have 25 grand in the bank. Also, that doesn't include your minimum of 20% for your down payment for your truck. So figure out what your budget is for your truck of how much you think you want to spend. Go get your approval, your financing approved. This is all before you even pick a truck. Make sure you got 25 grand in the bank. Make sure you find out how much you think you want to spend on a truck, what you want to get. Go get pre-approved and have a 20% deposit ready for that truck once your approval is done. When you've got all of that, then you're ready to go buy your truck and you can turn the key and go to work. And then in the event something happens, nobody wants downtime and nobody wants it, but in the event something happens, at least you've got a cushion. And that's what we're talking about, a cushion. The other thing we were talking about was mindset. You have to have the right mindset for this. There's too many people, again, and I keep saying there's too many people, and I'm just sorry, but I'm right. There's too many fucking people that don't have the right mindset. They think they're going to come out. They think that they're going to come out here, and they're going to drive their truck, get in their truck. They've done everything. They've got their down payment. They've got their truck. They're trucking, and they think that they're just going to merrily put fuel in the truck and drive around and pick up loads, drop off loads, do your billing, and get paid. Well, in a perfect world, yeah, that's exactly what we do. But in an imperfect world, your truck's going to break down. And one thing that was said yesterday is it's not a matter of if. It's not a matter of if. It doesn't matter if you've got a brand new 2023 Cascadia or you've got a 2020 like mine. It's not a matter of if it's going to break down. It's a matter of when. Folks, these are machines, okay? They are machines, and they are going to break down. There's nothing, sorry, I got to change lanes here and watch what I'm doing. We got some rain going. And they are going to break down. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. This thing I'm driving right now, I'm going down the road at 63 miles an hour. I got 42 or 43,000 pounds in the box. And this machine that's doing all of this work is comprised of probably, I don't know, I wouldn't even want to guess, 20,000 parts, 20,000 different parts, components and everything. And we run them. We work them. That's what they're here for. But eventually parts wear out. Things break. You hit a pothole, you snap something. Differentials twist. Fucking whatever. The list is endless of what could possibly go wrong. This is what this is all about out here. So it's not a matter of if your truck's going to break, it's a matter of when. And are you prepared for when it does? I prefer myself to be able to have the money in the bank to pay a shop bill. I don't like to rely on credit. I know a lot of guys, they got big credit lines, and some guys actually, and don't get me wrong, I've got a credit line too. But I prefer not to use it. I prefer not to pay for something twice. Because if you have let's say a $15,000 breakdown, and you put that on your credit line, very few guys out here, before the end of the month is going to pay back that 15,000 bucks. So you're going to have to carry that. So then you get interest. Then you got, myself personally, I prefer, it's there as a big net in the event something catastrophic happens. But I'd prefer to just, have the money in the bank. And that's just me. That's just me. I'm not a big believer in, get as much credit as you can, use as much as you can. And don't get me wrong. I've got a credit line. I've got a corporate credit card for my business. I've got, personal credit cards. But do I believe in using them for everything in the world and then paying them off? No. No, I don't need air mile points that bad. As you can tell, I'm in New York State, the camera's blah, 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 blah. So I try to keep a balance in my account reflective of what a large repair bill would be. And that's what we try to keep as a minimum. Anything above and beyond that, that's fine. We have other uses for our corporate money as well. It doesn't just sit in the bank and earn us interest on a fucking business savings account. We do things with our corporate money and for investing and whatnot like that. But at the end of the day, you should have it. If you don't have it, you're out here doing this. Don't. That's ice hitting the windshield right now. You guys hear that? There it is, middle of October, we got ice. Had snow this morning when we woke up. I say we, like all of you guys who were with me this morning when I woke up. Well, actually, you kind of were. This is awesome. I just needed to do this for another minute or so. It'll knock all the dirt right off the truck. Anyway, I think what I'm trying to get at here is I'm not discouraging anybody from becoming an owner-operator or making that jump. I just want you to think clearly about what you're doing and the reasons behind it and making sure that you're set up to do it. Listen to guys like Snorlord, listen to guys like James, listen to guys like Britt, listen to guys, Sage. These are guys that I don't know personally, I just know through YouTube, but that I've been listening to, and the more I listen to, the more I'm getting. So there you go, there's your advice and your bit for today. Subscribe, like, and we'll see you down the road.